Have you ever felt like the ground beneath your feet is just a little less steady than it used to be? If so, you're not alone. As we age, certain small habits can quietly erode our balance. But here's the good news: many of these mistakes are easy to avoid. Let's walk through them together. Let's start gently with something that often flies under the radar: not giving enough attention to your legs. I've seen this so many times in my practice. People focus on their hearts, their diets, even their memory, but forget the very muscles that carry them through life, their legs. When your leg muscles weaken, your body struggles to stay upright. Even everyday things like standing up from a chair or walking across the room can turn risky. And here's what's tricky: this loss is usually so gradual you don't notice it until something scary happens, like a near fall, or worse, a real one. As we grow older, we naturally lose muscle mass. It's part of the aging process, something called sarcopenia, but just because it's common doesn't mean it's harmless. Weak leg muscles mean less control, less stability, and more strain on your joints. They can also lead to what we call compensatory movement, where your body starts shifting weight in awkward ways just to stay balanced. This increases your risk of tripping, slipping, or simply feeling unsteady. The problem isn't just about strength, it's also about confidence. When you don't trust your legs, every movement becomes a hesitation, and that hesitation can lead to fear. And fear, over time, turns into avoidance. Now let me share something personal. I worked with a lovely woman named Marilyn, 72, from Dayton, Ohio. Bright smile, big family, and fiercely independent. For years she kept her garden, walked her dog, even went ballroom dancing on weekends. But after a mild stroke, she spent a few weeks in bed. When she tried to get back to her usual routine, something had changed. She felt wobbly, hesitant. One morning, just reaching for the toaster, she lost her footing and fell. When I met her during her recovery, she told me, "I never thought I'd be scared to walk in my own kitchen." We ran a simple test. I asked her to sit on a chair and stand up without using her hands. She couldn't do it. That small moment revealed so much. Her muscles had weakened more than she realized. But here's the beautiful part: she didn't give up. We started a routine. Just 5 minutes a day at first, sitting and standing from a chair, lifting her heels while brushing her teeth, holding onto the counter and rising on her toes. It wasn't fancy, but day by day, Marilyn got stronger. By the end of 3 months, she was back to gardening, with her signature sun hat and a huge smile. Another client, Leonard, 68, from Tampa, had a similar story. He didn't fall, but he kept catching himself when standing. Turned out, after retiring, he spent most of the day sitting, reading, watching TV, chatting with his wife. No harm in that, but his body began to forget how to hold him up. We got him into a leg routine with light resistance bands, and in 6 weeks he told me he felt 10 years younger. His words, not mine. What helps most people, and I say this from years of experience, is starting small. One of the easiest ways to reawaken your leg muscles is something called the sit-to-stand exercise. Use a sturdy chair without arms and simply try to stand up without using your hands. Then sit back down slowly. Do this 8 to 10 times a day. If that feels like too much, start with 3. Another gentle movement. Calf raises while holding onto the sink. Rise onto your toes slowly, then lower down. It strengthens your calves and works your balance too. Do it while waiting for the kettle to boil. No gym required. Here's what I want you to remember. Your legs are more than just limbs. They're your foundation. Think of them like the roots of a tree. Even the most graceful tree needs strong roots to stay upright in the wind. And so do we. You don't need hours in the gym. Just a few minutes each day, done with care and kindness to your body, can help you feel safer, stronger, and more like yourself again. You're not fragile, you're adapting, and that's a powerful thing. Another habit that often goes unnoticed: wearing the wrong kind of shoes at home. It may sound simple, even harmless, but from what I've seen, poor footwear is behind more falls than most people think, especially in older women. The reason is straightforward. As we age, the padding on the soles of our feet gets thinner. Our sense of touch becomes less sharp, and we rely more on what we feel through our shoes. If those shoes are worn out, loose, or slippery, Every step becomes a gamble, and most people don't even realize it's happening until they slip. Your feet are full of nerve endings that help you detect pressure, surface changes, and balance cues. But when shoes don't fit snugly or have slick soles, they don't talk to your feet properly. Slippers that slide off, flip-flops that flap around, or old shoes with worn treads are a quiet risk, especially on hardwood floors, bathroom, tiles, or outdoor steps. A small shift in your heel, a sudden slide at the toe, and your body scrambles to catch up, often too late. Many falls happen not because of weakness, but because of bad feedback from the feet. That's why proper footwear isn't just about comfort. It's a safety tool. I'll never forget Helen. She was 76, lived alone in a small house in Little Rock, Arkansas. Her daughter brought her in after she broke her elbow in a bathroom fall. Helen had slipped stepping out of the shower. The tile floor was dry, but her slippers, soft, backless, and old, had no grip left. They were my favorites, she told me, almost apologetically. She'd worn them every morning for over a decade. She trusted them more than she should have. After the fall, she was scared to walk without holding onto furniture. When we talked, I asked her to show me those slippers. The soles were so smooth, I could slide my finger across them like glass. We talked about safer choices, shoes with firm soles, closed heels, and good traction. Her daughter got her a pair of lightweight walking shoes with anti-slip grip and a Velcro strap. Not fancy, but solid. Within a week, Helen said she felt safer moving from room to room. It wasn't just the shoes, it was the shift in confidence. Then there was Raymond, 81, from Boise. A proud, dignified man who swore he never needed house shoes. He shuffled around in socks most of the day, until one rainy afternoon he slipped near the front door while reaching for his cane. A bruise, nothing broken, but it shook him. I met him during a fall prevention workshop, tried on a few options, and he found a pair of indoor walking shoes that didn't feel like grandpa sneakers, as he put it. They gave him grip and made him feel grounded. Months later, he mailed me a note. Still upright, still dancing with my granddaughter. What often helps in these cases is a shoe checklist I share with my patients. Look for footwear that 1. Fits snugly around your heel, no slipping. 2. Has a non-skid rubber sole, not plastic or foam. 3. Provides full foot coverage, closed toes and heels. 4. Is lightweight but firm. Avoid slippers that are too soft, shoes with worn treads, and anything without a back strap. If bending is hard, Velcro straps are your best friend. The floor of your home shouldn't feel like a danger zone. Think of your shoes as your everyday walking partner. They should support you, grip the ground for you, and keep you upright. It's not about giving up comfort. It's about giving yourself permission to feel secure. Safety starts from the ground up, and something as small as a good shoe can become the reason you move through your home with ease, without fear. You deserve that kind of peace, every single step. Let's talk about something many people overlook, not drinking enough water throughout the day. It may not sound connected to balance, but I assure you it is. Dehydration can quietly cause low blood pressure, dizziness, fatigue, and even confusion. When your body is low on fluids, your circulation weakens, your muscles don't function as well, and your brain struggles to stay fully alert. All of this can lead to unsteadiness, that sudden lightheaded moment when you stand up too fast, or that fuzzy feeling when walking across a room. And older adults are especially at risk, because with age our sense of thirst fades. You may not feel thirsty, but your body still desperately needs hydration to stay stable. Water plays a key role in maintaining the volume of blood circulating through your system. When you're dehydrated, that volume drops, and so does your blood pressure. That's when you get that woozy, tilting sensation. It's even more common first thing in the morning, or after sitting for a long time. Some people think it's just getting older, but more often it's the body saying, "I'm running on empty." I think of Frances, 80 years old, from a quiet town in Utah. She was brought in by her son after a strange fall in her kitchen. She'd stood up from the table to refill her coffee and suddenly felt the room spin. No heart issues, no stroke. The tests came back fine. But then I asked her, "How much water do you drink on a normal day?" She blinked and said, "I don't really know. Maybe a glass or two." That's when the picture became clear. Frances wasn't drinking nearly enough. Her body was dry, her circulation low, and her brain wasn't getting the blood flow it needed to keep her steady. We started a gentle hydration routine, a glass of water right after waking, a small cup mid-morning, and another in the afternoon. She set reminders on her phone and left water bottles around the house. No pressure, no strict targets, just a little more awareness. Within weeks, her balance improved. She told me she even danced a bit in her kitchen again, cautiously but confidently. Then there was Michael, 73, from Georgia, a retired mechanic, always active, but recently had been feeling drained and off balance. He thought it was his medication, but after reviewing everything, we noticed his water intake was low, partly because he didn't like the taste. So we added a slice of lemon and a bit of mint to his water, and it made a world of difference. He started carrying a water bottle with him, just like he used to carry tools. Hydration became a habit again. What often helps my patients is a simple rule: drink a few sips of water every hour you're awake. Not a whole glass all at once, and that can feel overwhelming, but steady, gentle hydration. Keep a bottle beside your bed, on the table where you eat, or next to your favorite chair. If you prefer warm drinks, herbal teas count too. Just avoid too much caffeine. And soups, fruits like melon or oranges, even cucumbers, they all help too. Think of your body like a well-tended garden. Without enough water, the roots dry out, the flowers droop, and everything feels heavy. But give it steady care and it perks up again. Your body is just the same. You don't need to flood it. Just feed it a little life throughout the day. You're not just quenching thirst. You're supporting your balance, your energy, and your calm. And that's worth every sip. Here's one that might surprise you: not paying attention to the lighting in your home. It sounds simple, doesn't it? But dim or uneven lighting is one of the most common hidden causes of falls among older adults. As we age, our eyes need more light to see clearly. The pupils react more slowly to changes in brightness, and depth perception can fade. That means walking from a well-lit living room into a dark hallway becomes more dangerous than you think. Shadows hide floor edges, stairs blur together, and objects like cords or shoes become invisible hazards. And most falls happen at home, often at night on the way to the bathroom, or early in the morning before the sun rises. This issue isn't just about poor vision. It's about how our brain interprets what we see. Without enough contrast or clarity, the brain has to guess what's in front of us. And in that split second of hesitation, that guess, our balance can give out. Add in grogginess from sleep, and the risk multiplies. I always say, if you can't see clearly, you can't walk confidently. I remember working with June, a 69-year-old woman from Kansas City. She lived alone in a cozy one-story home, and she loved keeping it peaceful and dim. One night, she got up to use the bathroom and tripped over the corner of a rug in the hallway. It was barely sticking up, but in the dark, she didn't see it. The fall left her with a twisted ankle and a deep fear of walking at night. When I visited her during recovery, I noticed her hallway had only one ceiling light, and it was a soft, low-watt bulb. We made a few simple changes. Motion-activated nightlights were installed along the floor, and a brighter bulb was added near the bathroom door. June also kept a small flashlight by her bed, just in case. Within a week, she told me she was moving around again with more ease. She said, "It's like I can see my own home again." Another client, Edna, 82, from Vermont, had a similar experience. Her living room had lots of charm: antique lamps, lace curtains, warm tones, but not enough light. Her daughter noticed she was hesitating before moving from room to room. When we tested her vision in different areas of the house, it became clear the lighting was too soft. We added full spectrum, LED bulbs in her most used spaces, and suddenly Edna wasn't shuffling anymore. She was walking with confidence. She even started hosting afternoon book clubs again. One of the easiest ways to make your home safer is to brighten it. Start by checking the areas you walk through most: your hallway, bathroom, kitchen, and bedroom. Use LED nightlights with sensors in hallways and near doors. Choose warm but strong bulbs for living areas, ones that light up the space clearly without glare. Consider adding a touch lamp by your bedside for easy access at night, And keep stairways especially well lit from top to bottom. Think of your home like a garden path at dusk. If the way isn't lit, every step becomes uncertain. But when the light is steady, your path feels safe again. You deserve to move through your home with comfort and peace. Lighting isn't just a home detail, it's your silent partner in safety. And with a few easy changes, you can shine a little more light on every step you take. Now let's touch on something that's often hidden in plain sight, the medications you take every day. Many older adults are on multiple prescriptions, and while each may serve an important purpose, their combined effects can quietly affect your balance. Dizziness, drowsiness, low blood pressure, blurred vision, these are all potential side effects that make falls more likely. What's more, these effects can sneak up on you. You might assume you're just tired or having a foggy day, but it could be your medication sending mixed signals to your brain and body. With age, our bodies process medicine more slowly. The liver and kidneys don't clear substances as quickly, and that means drugs can build up in the system. Combine that with changes in weight, hydration, and other health conditions, and even a small dosage can start having a big impact. Add in over-the-counter products like sleep aids or cold medicine, and the risk grows. The scariest part? Most people don't realize the link between what they're taking and how their body's reacting until a fall or fainting spell sends them to the hospital. Let me tell you about Beverly. She was 74, a retired teacher from Indianapolis, and she came to me after 2 sudden falls within a month. No broken bones, thankfully, but she was shaken. She said, "I don't understand. I wasn't doing anything unusual. I just stood up and everything tilted." When we reviewed her medications, we found she was taking a heart pill in the morning, a water pill at lunch, and a mild sedative at night, all prescribed at different times by different doctors. None of them knew what the others had prescribed. When taken together, they caused big swings in her blood pressure. We worked with her doctors to adjust the timing and dosage, and within weeks, the dizziness stopped. There's also George, 79, from Portland. He was active and sharp but kept feeling wobbly in the afternoon. He thought it was aging, but after a detailed review, we noticed that a new pain medication was interacting with his diabetes meds. He hadn't told anyone about it because it didn't seem like a big deal. Once we made a small switch, his balance returned, and so did his confidence. He later joked that reading the fine print on the label might have saved him from walking like a penguin. One of the best things you can do for yourself is this. Once or twice a year, sit down with your doctor or pharmacist and review all your medications, prescription, over-the-counter, even herbal supplements. Make sure they all still make sense for your current health. Ask specifically about side effects related to balance, dizziness, or fatigue. Don't be shy. Your safety depends on it. If you notice new symptoms after starting something, speak up right away. A quick adjustment might save you from a dangerous fall. Think of your medication routine like the controls of a car. Each button matters, and when they're not coordinated, the ride gets bumpy. But with the right tune-up, everything runs more smoothly. You deserve to feel steady and alert. Your health is not just about adding new pills. Sometimes it's about knowing when to ask, to pause, and to adjust. You're not being a bother. You're being wise. Here's a habit that many people don't even realize they have: standing up too quickly. It sounds harmless, doesn't it? But for older adults, this one simple movement can lead to sudden dizziness, a spinning sensation, or even a fall. The medical term is orthostatic hypotension. It means your blood pressure drops when you change positions, especially from lying or sitting to standing. Your body needs a few moments to adjust and push blood back up to your brain. When that doesn't happen fast enough, the brain gets less oxygen, and you may feel lightheaded, weak, or unsteady on your feet. This is especially common in the morning, after resting or napping, or when you've been sitting for a long time. Dehydration, medications, and certain health conditions can all make it worse. And the tricky part is you might not feel it every time, just once in a while. But that one unexpected dizzy spell can be enough to cause a fall. It's not a sign of weakness. It's simply how the aging body works, and it deserves patience and care. Let me share the story of Roberta, 71, from Spokane, Washington. She's a retired librarian, sharp as a tack and very independent. One morning she got out of bed quickly to answer the phone. As she stood up, her vision blurred, and the next thing she knew, she was on the floor beside her nightstand. Luckily, nothing was broken, but the fear stayed with her. She told me later, "It felt like my brain didn't catch up with my body." That moment made her cautious, even anxious, about moving around her home. We talked about her routine. She wasn't drinking much water in the morning, and she often skipped breakfast. Plus, her blood pressure medication was scheduled for early hours. All these things combined made her vulnerable to low pressure after getting up. We made small changes. She now sits on the edge of the bed for a minute before standing, takes slow, deep breaths, and keeps a glass of water nearby to sip before rising. She also shifted her medication timing slightly, with her doctor's approval. Within a month, she said the morning dizziness had faded, and she was moving with more trust in her body. Another client, Norman, 77, from Tallahassee, had a similar pattern. He often felt dizzy after watching TV in the evening and getting up too fast from his recliner. He'd grab for furniture to steady himself, which only made him more nervous. We added a simple pause routine. He now counts to 10 after standing before taking his first step. It gave his body time to catch up. No more near falls and a lot more peace of mind. What helps most people is developing a gentle habit. Before standing up, especially from bed or a recliner, take a moment. Sit up slowly, place your feet on the ground, rest your hands on your knees and take 2 slow breaths. Then rise slowly, using a sturdy object for support if needed. If you still feel a little wobbly, pause before moving forward. These small steps allow your blood pressure to adjust and your brain to stay clear. Think of your body like an orchestra. Every part needs a moment to tune up before the music starts. You deserve that pause, there's no rush. Giving your body those few seconds can protect you from a scary fall and help you move through your day with more ease. You're not slowing down, you're moving smarter, and that's something to be proud of. Let me end with something close to the heart, the fear of moving. It's more common than most people realize, especially after a fall or even a close call. That fear creeps in quietly. You start avoiding stairs, skipping walks, hesitating to reach up or bend down. The intention is to stay safe, and that's understandable. But ironically, avoiding movement only makes your body weaker. Muscles shrink, joints stiffen, balance declines. It becomes a cycle. The more afraid you are to move, the more likely you are to fall when you do. It's not just physical, it's emotional too. A quiet anxiety that steals confidence bit by bit. The body, especially as it ages, is like a garden. If you stop watering and tending it, things begin to fade. Your muscles thrive on use. Your balance depends on challenge, and your spirit depends on trust, not just in your environment, but in yourself. Fear is not the enemy, but it must be understood. Left unchecked, it robs people of joy, independence, and their sense of identity. I worked with Norma, 78, from Fresno, California. After tripping in her driveway one afternoon, she started staying inside. She stopped going to her church group, avoided her backyard, even hesitated to answer the door if it meant crossing the living room. "It just got easier not to move," she said. Her daughter brought her in when Norma began losing weight and showing signs of depression. During our sessions, I asked about her favorite activities. She used to garden, sing, bake. I saw her eyes light up, but then dim again. "I don't think I can do those things anymore," she whispered. We started slow, a few steps around her kitchen while holding the counter, chair yoga with music she loved. Eventually, she joined a senior movement group at her local library. They danced while seated, clapped to rhythm, laughed a lot. Over time, Norma began to believe in her body again, not as something fragile, but as something still capable. She now tends a small window herb garden and sends me dried lavender every fall. Another story I treasure is about Marvin, 84, from Michigan. After hip surgery, he moved with a walker and felt embarrassed in public, so he stopped going out entirely. I told him about Harold, another client, who wore a bright red walker proudly and called it Big Red. That image made Marvin laugh. He painted his walker blue and started walking to the mailbox again, then to the cafe on his corner. He now hosts a Walker Walkers group in his neighborhood, 5 seniors with wheels and a mission to keep moving. One of the most powerful things you can do is move, even just a little, every single day. Start with something you enjoy. Put on a song and sway in your chair. Stand and march in place while holding onto a counter. Walk 10 steps and back. The key is consistency, not intensity. Gentle movement, done often, builds strength and courage. At the same time, think of fear like a fog, thick at first, hard to see through, but as you take steps forward, the light returns. Movement is a declaration. I'm still here. I still belong in this body. You are not your fear. You are your resilience. Your strength is in showing up again and again, even if just for a few steps. And every step counts. If even one of these ideas felt helpful to you, let us know in the comments. Your voice matters. Be sure to subscribe and tap the bell so you never miss a moment of care and encouragement. You are not alone, you're stronger than you think. And your life still has many steady steps ahead.